conference that gives you the feeling of a large event, but yet is small. I've done this conference for over a decade, and I just love the direct connections I get with customers of Microsoft talking about technology. I love talking about SQL and technology, and for me, it's that special connection I get. I present it for a large audience, but then I get an opportunity afterwards to talk to people about real world scenarios that they're dealing with technologies that Microsoft delivers.
I'm George Howell with Bob Ward. Bob, good to be with you. What is it about this conference that you're looking forward to?
You know, George, one of the things I love about this event, it's that big conference field, but yet an intimate connection with people directly about our technologies at Microsoft. And I have a reputation this event of bringing some of the latest innovations we're doing with SQL Server and Azure SQL, plus a little combination of some deep internals about how the product works. People love that combination of like, give me the strategy, tell me the latest, but also tell me how things work behind the scenes. And so we're going to do all of that at this event.
We talk about, the changing reality, on-prem SQL servers, Azure SQL. I mean, a lot is in flux right now, Bob.
It is, George, but here's the great story about SQL as a technology. We call it SQL Edge to Cloud. And that is that we have a SQL Server engine that works wherever you need it in a compatible way. We call it like develop once, deploy anywhere. So whether you want to deploy SQL on the edge at IoT devices, on premises SQL servers, or in the cloud with Azure SQL, it's still SQL Server. So it just kind of meets the needs wherever you are, wherever you need it.
So for attendees who are showing up to this conference, what is it that you want them to walk away with?
George, I think of three things. Number one, practical. I want people to come to an event like this and walk away with practical knowledge they can apply directly to their jobs and their companies right away. I want them to find out and learn about information they get nowhere else. I want you to learn about the latest things we're doing with Microsoft SQL Server and Azure SQL. And I want you to get excited. I'm all about making sure that customers understand what we're doing in a way that gets them excited about using our technology.
There are specific workshops and even a hands-on event that you're pretty excited about. Tell us more.
Yeah, George, think about this. You're a SQL Server person today, but you need to learn the cloud like Azure. I don't even know where to start. How about learning from the engineering team directly in a hands-on way? We will do a day-long workshop, myself, my colleague, Anna Hoffman, and others, and teach you in a very practical hands-on approach on how to get started with Azure SQL and translate that SQL Server knowledge you know today to the cloud.
When people come to these conferences, it is about that face-to-face. It's the ability to network, but also to learn and get that hands-on experience. How important is it to have events like this?
It's very important to me personally. I've been doing a lot of virtual events for a number of years, of course, a lot recently the last 2 years, but in-person events do give a certain touch where you get to directly see people face-to-face, see their reactions, ask direct questions, maybe in a fashion you couldn't do in a virtual event. You're going to get the latest things we're doing for SQL Server and Azure SQL, hybrid technologies like Azure Arc, and even Azure SQL Edge. You want to know what's all the latest things I can get. You want to find information you can get nowhere else. And that's what we plan to deliver at this event. And you're going to get it in a very connected way, in person, of course, with all the safety protocols the conference has announced. I'm super excited to get back to delivering technology and transferring my knowledge to attendees in an in-person way. The SQL Server and Azure SQL Conference, December 7th through 9th in Las Vegas, Nevada. 3 days of sessions and all-day workshops with focus on the changing reality and challenges of managing data in various locations. You'll hear from the expert on what's happening through workshops. SQL Server Performance Tuning and Optimization by Monica Rathburn. And Migrating SQL Server to Azure, hosted by myself, Bob Ward. Another wonderful thing that attendees get from this conference is hands-on. Yes, hands-on. So I'm delivering with my colleague Anna Hoffman a hands-on workshop for Azure SQL. If you know SQL Server today, but you need to learn the cloud, you can come learn from us in an all-day event where we will teach you, you have your laptop there, we'll teach you everything you need to know hands-on to translate your current knowledge to the cloud. As a safety protocol, all speakers, attendees, and staff must show proof of vaccination or a negative COVID-19 test within 72 hours of arrival. The SQL Server and Azure SQL Conference, December 7th through 9th in Las Vegas, Nevada.